on to the NFC. Alright, so starting with the NFC South. Starting in last place with the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers got a new coach in Matt Rule. And my message to Panthers fans is don't be surprised if your team sucks. Alright? First of all, that defense is going to need to be fixed little by little. I mean, Derek Brown's a good start. I think that's his name, the defensive tackle he got from Auburn in the draft. But this defense is going to struggle after Luke Kuechly's retirement. And besides, this struggling year one is basically the typical Matt Rule plan. Year one, you struggle. Year two, you're a playoff contender. Year three, Super Bowl contender. If that all goes to plan, maybe we see the Panthers in the NFC Championship game by 2022. Carolina Panthers. Next up is the Atlanta Falcons. I would love to be higher on the Falcons. They have an offense that I can really get behind. It's their defense I'm not buying into. As a result, they're going to finish third off the back of that defense. Alright, then in second place is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I love the acquisition of Tom Brady for the Buccaneers. I think is a perfect marriage between two things. Tom Brady, last year, think about it, Brady didn't have really good weapons. And at this point in his career, he needs decent weapons for him to power a team in far into the playoffs. And the Buccaneers, they would have made the playoffs if they had a quarterback that didn't throw 30 picks a season. In Tom Brady, the Buccaneers are going to get someone who will throw maybe 10 picks a season. If even that. And those Bucs receivers, yeah, they're definitely better than decent weapons. So I think this Bucs team is going to power through a good chunk of the NFC. Might take them a while to gel together. But when they get going, this will be a tough team to stop. They will earn a wild card. But the Saints will win the division. Because I think the Saints will be motivated by a couple of things. Number one, Tom Brady's now in your conference and your division. I would think you're going to be a lot more motivated when you're facing Tom Brady. But the second and more primary reason is that this is one of Drew Brees' last realistic shots at winning a Super Bowl. And you gotta think the Saints are gonna want to have Brees go out on top, or at least with another Super Bowl title. So the Saints, they will be motivated to win more than they ever have. And as a result, they win the NFC South, and they get home field in the NFC. Moving on to the NFC West. So, starting in last place, the Rams. It is shocking when you consider that the Rams, they were in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Granted, on a controversial call, but still, they were in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. But how have they fallen. They've lost a good chunk of their talent. Throw in that they compete in the toughest division in football, and I just don't see good things for the Rams in 2020. Moving on to the third place Cardinals. That offense is going to be tough to stop. I mean, you're looking at Kyler Murray, Offensive Rookie of the Year. And that run game is going to be tough with Kenyon Drake. So what does what does Arizona need? A number one wide receiver. So they picked up DeAndre Hopkins in the trade with Houston. That defense is probably the weakest point, but I think it'll be just mediocre enough for the Cardinals to sneak into the playoffs this year. That's the top two teams in the NFC West. This could go either way, but I think the 49ers will suffer a bit of a Super Bowl hangover, and as a result, they will not win the West. The Seahawks, led by Russell Wilson, will win the West. Russell Wilson is going to lead this team to a division title and the 2 seed. So let's move on to the next division, the NFC East. Now in 4th place, I've got the Giants. Look, I'm just not that big a believer in Daniel Jones. Throw in the fact that this team is, their defense kind of sucks. And yeah, it's not going to be too kind of year for the Giants. And then in 3rd place, I got Washington. I feel like the Giants and Washington have similar squads, but the reason I place Washington ahead of the Giants is because if Alex Smith is able to play regular season football, I could see this Washington team challenging for a playoff spot. Not the division, but a wild card. Granted, I don't expect that to happen. Plus, I think that defense is a little better than the Giants, so I gotta place Washington in 3rd place. But really, the East is going to be between the top 2 teams, the Cowboys and the Eagles. Philly, I could definitely see winning this division. I mean, they won this division last year, despite the fact that everybody got injured. But I could also see it going the Cowboys' way. I mean, this team has the talent to go to the Super Bowl. They have had the talent to go to the Super Bowl for a while now. The only thing keeping them back, coaching. And while I don't necessarily agree with Mike McCarthy being the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, I definitely think he's still an upgrade over Jason Garrett. And it's that coaching that I think will power the Cowboys to a division title. Moving on to the last division, and this might be a shocker to a good chunk of people, how I've got this division going. The NFC North. Boom. So let's analyze this, right? Last place, Detroit Lions. I can see this team going far, especially with Matthew Stafford at quarterback. But I just don't see it happening. I don't see this team being more than a tricky team that can ruin your season if you're not careful. So I got them finishing last in the North. Then looking at 3rd place, the Minnesota Vikings. They traded away Stephon Diggs to Buffalo. They're going to depend on Adam Thielen to get the bulk of their receiving yardage. And their defense has lost some key players over the offseason. We'll see if Yannick Ngakoue, who they just acquired from the Jaguars, we'll see if he is going to be able to get this defense where they need to be. But I just don't have faith in the Vikings to be much more than 8-8 squad. So that leaves us with the Bears and the Packers. Now, unlike most people, I am actually fairly high on the Bears. I'm not as high as I was last year, where I thought they had a chance to go 16-0. Yeah, stupid me. But I'm still relatively high on the Bears, especially with that defense. And then you throw in the fact that, sure, the Packers still have Aaron Rodgers, and they went 12-4 last year. But they went 12-4 because they won a lot of close games. You gotta think that at some point those close games are going to sway the other way. And then you throw in the fact that they didn't seem to really improve on last year. It'd be more apt to say they declined from last year. And this is a team that I think is going to struggle. Put all that together, and I've got the Bears winning the North. Packers finished runner-up, and the Packers actually are going to miss the playoffs. In fact, here is my projected playoff seeds. Saints get home field. Seahawks get the 2 seed. Cowboys the 3. Bears round out the division winners as the 4. Bucks will come in at the 5. 49ers the 6. And Cardinals are the 7. And there you have it. That's how I see the regular season going in 2020. Later on this week, I will provide a video showing how I think the playoffs will go with this exact seeding. If you want to see videos like that, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. I have been the Sports Wiz 101, and I will see you all later.